is Interstate 185 in West Point, Georgia. You're riding with your boy Doug 60 Gang, and I'm headed from West Point, Georgia to Griffin, Georgia. Hope you enjoy the ride.
Hey, can you all hear me? Just double checking. Hey. Hey guys. Yes, thank you. Screen recording, thank you so much. Yes, please. This won't be long because we're on our way to tie up some loose ends with some stuff before we have to move again. So this won't be long. So thank you for screen recording. My mama's right here.
Hey.
You know, the twin, everything. You all know. Hi. My name is Allison Leilani Carter. I'm going to turn the comments off for a second, so I could get this out. And already I am slightly sweating. Hold on. Because I just want to get this out quickly because I got a lot to do. So I'm just going to turn the comments off and I'll turn it back on and we'll be live again. We got to do this fast. So hold on. I just need everybody to stay with me, okay? So if you can heart me over here, if you can still see me, I'd appreciate it. So I know you're still with me and you didn't cut out and I'm not being shadow banned because my accounts are shaking, okay? So, hi. My name is Allison Carter. My mom's name is Shelly Carter. In 2021, we did a live interview with Maria Z. We went viral in 2020. Today is September
23rd.
23rd?
Yes.
23rd?
Yeah.
Yeah, September 23rd, 2024. In 2020, I went viral and we lost our home. We lost our animals. We lost everything. I am a dance teacher. I was working as a choreographer, an after-school teacher, a volunteer for doing hair at foster care agencies for free. I was starting to turn around and try to feed the homeless and go back to where I come from, packing backpacks and things for children. I don't need everybody to love me. I don't need everybody to like me. To each its own, right? I have been screaming underwater since I was 3 months old. I went into foster care at 13, 14. We tried to do a case against Riverside County Child Protective Services because Riverside County, do you hear me? Riverside County Child Protective Services was involved in my trafficking. Can y'all still hear me? Can you just... Cool. Thank you. So, Facebook, you good? Can y'all hear me? Hi. Yes, you hi. Can you hear me? Cool. Thank you. I never thought that we would see the day where Diddy would get arrested. And I told you guys in that Maria Z interview in 2021 that no one tells on Diddy. P. Diddy. All right? Just the same way nobody tells on Denzel Washington. People don't usually talk and stop and think about the children victims that are going through things right now as we speak, and the ones who suffered through all this bullshit. I decided to stop for a second and do some projects with projects all around, because we just said, you know what? This is our life. It's not changing. We stopped somewhere, and I've been hiding. My mom and I have been hiding. We've had our head down. We tried to back up. We've tried to tell you everything that we can, and now we have people messaging us, investigators, people that want to talk now, when now it's because it's trending. We're still not on the subject of the kids. All the adults are covering their asses. All the adults are, I left at a certain time, yet you knew children were there. You knew these parties were not okay. They weren't freak-offs. They were satanic ritual orgies. Get it straight. It wasn't just adults in these parties. The adults were responsible for the child sex slaves that were in the party. And one of those children were me. Now, those who are trying to come at us now, talking like, oh, well, now the Diddy's out, now that you can talk. For why? Because we tried to have a case with Child Protective Services. We gave them 8 months worth of evidence. 8 months worth of evidence. That didn't even do a crumb. They took that case and they hid it. If you are a survivor and if you are a real victim, be careful. Because these hotline numbers that they're putting out, I don't trust them. I wouldn't do it.
They take your information to see what you have.
They're taking inventory.
And then they shut it down. They're taking inventory. So don't trust them. Don't trust the feds. Don't trust the judges. Fuck all y'all. You're all guilty. You're all corrupt. Any attorney that's taking money to defend Diddy, you're nasty and vile.
That's blood money.
That's blood money.
That's all blood money. You do know that, right? Whether you take money for him to shut up, whether you take money from him for period, that's blood money. I don't want anybody's money. Not even and let me make something very clear.
You have a message.
You can't fake your death. That shit is expensive. We don't have that money. We don't have the military involvement. We are not working with white hats. We are working with everyday people who can come out and do something when they can. Who can come out and say, I can be security when I can. Who can come and cover us when they can. But that's not all the time. Right now, we by ourselves. We can call on some angels. Yes. These are everyday people. They're not white hats. Get it straight. There's no witness protection program, because how well is the Secret Service doing protecting your former president? They're not even doing their damn job. Even the photographer can get the shot, and including the people that can get the shot. Let's be real. Don't do the Lassane bullshit. Don't do that either. You want to know why? Because that all circles back to the military. That all circles back to fake arrest. That all circles back to lies. And not everybody can fake their death. Even though some of y'all are sitting pretty, trying to make the excuse of, oh, well, they were so evil, I was just trying to be undercover. No, bullshit. My face is out there. You little punk. My face is out there. You pussy.
No, and And I see a lot of you people out there like, oh, they faked their death and they're gonna come back.
No.
That's
No.
bullshit.
No.
Joan Rivers, you were up there partying with Michelle Manshell. Lassane, you were doing some dirty, vile shit. All of you. So any of these people that they're gonna try to revive and prop up, bullshit.
No.
Bullshit.
You see all the people running? They're ducking and hiding because everybody knows that there was children there. But we're still not talking about the kids yet. When are we going to talk about the kids? Everybody's demanding something from the victims. Why aren't you demanding it from the news? You know he's about to turn into another Epstein, and then the list follows and it circles back into a web. So why isn't anybody demanding any information on the kids? Huh?
Where'd that supply chain come from?
Do you think that thousands of bottles worth of baby oil was for thousands of who? $65,000 worth of hot dogs and pizza was for who? Trafficking over the border was for who? Child Protective Services is your supplier. Is anybody going to talk about that? The immigrants that are coming across the border, that all those kids that they were just scooping up out of boats and out of the water, they're now coming in and they're throwing them right into the system. Aurora, Colorado, Springfield, Ohio. Where do you think all those kids are going? This ain't about an election anymore. Y'all know that, right? The election is canceled. Because everybody that you love, you don't live in the world you think you do. Everybody that you think is not guilty is about to show you who they really are. I've been screaming for years. So now, if you see me over here trying to live a normal life and tying up loose ends as justice, mind your fucking business. Or don't. Or don't. We were followed the night that Diddy was arrested. I left a place that I was in, minding my own business, finally trying to stop for a second and get my life back. And you know what? I'm not even upset about that. I'm upset about the fact that I have to walk back into this place and I have to tell you all goodbye. So if you know who I am and you know me as Justice, you know I'm about to walk into this building and tell you I gotta go. Nobody ever thinks about the victims. Nobody. The victims' lives get turned around when the predators' lives want to just get announced. You slap them on the wrist and you bring up every source of trauma for the victim. But nobody wants to stop and think about that. We're not talking about the victims that are still going through the shit right now with other people who are running to cover their ass and deleting their social medias. Pink, Megan Fox, Tyra Banks, Steve Harvey. Why you running? You know what a part of me feels like? You know what? Good, run. Because then you get to see how it feels to have to jump and throw everything that you give a damn about away for 2 seconds. Get a moment of peace for not a damn moment. Not a moment of peace. You take it and you run with it because you're happy about the peace. But then you see how it feels when they get shaky. You see how it feels when the world is a little quiet, like, oh, my superstar, my idol. What about the victims? Our PTSD lives on every damn day that they did what they did. But it's only talked about when it's trending. We got legal evidence to drop. I just don't know what's the point. Yeah, I was at a Diddy party. I was one of the party favors. But I told you, nobody tells on Diddy. Maria Z, I did that interview in 2021. 7 months ago. We made sure, I already knew, that Diddy and Oprah is about to get arrested. I already knew that 7-8 months ago. We went and made sure there were sworn documents. We have them. When we went to Colorado for the A to Z event, we had a lot of legal evidence that we made sure we already had because we knew a list of people were about to get got. You can't run for that long. I'm just shocked we're finally seeing the day. So thank you so much for listening. We got to go and tie up some things and then we'll be back. But we got to move. Because we don't want to be sitting ducks. Not that that does anything. It just disturbs our peace one more time, and it's bullshit. I'm not the only one. There are too many victims. Victims that you don't even know their name. Victims that you'll never hear their laugh. Victims that you'll never know who the hell they were because everybody was so busy bouncing to their music. Didn't I tell you? Music is a diary. Are you now figuring that out? If you're listening, it's one thing when you hear it and you feel it. When you feel it, you can actually hear it. When you hear it, you can actually feel it. Do you understand that their music is their diary? All these rappers, they're telling you what they did. The music, it's telling you what they did. The comedy and the art is a reflection of life. I got a reflection of life for you. And not that who to give it to, I don't know. And if you're trying to come towards me right now thinking that, hey, maybe she'll testify against what?
I don't trust none of y'all.
Testify against who? Testify against the same corrupt justice system that's not doing a damn thing for anybody?
Let's be clear. You federal prosecutors, you have video surveillance from Diddy's house from 2008. Look in that 2008, 2010 span, you'll find her video there. You want to send it? Send it over? She'll say, yeah, that's me. Then you can do what you can do, but otherwise we're not messing with you. I don't trust none of y'all. I see what you did to Trump. A lot.
I see what you do to everybody. Everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. Ask me if you've ever gotten a fair trial for any damn thing. Is there justice for you? No. Ask me why I'm going by justice right now. Because I understand that. I get it. My bones will never be the same. My heart will never be the same. My soul will never be the same, but I'm still sitting here. So I'll still continue to try to do what I can do. To be a voice for my friends that are no longer here and for the kids who don't have a voice right now while everybody is too busy running towards the adults. Running to comfort grown-ass men that you know are wrong. Everybody, no, not that black man. No, that can't be true. No, he can't be having satanic rituals. No, there's no way. Yeah, there is. And now you see. So now what you gonna do about it? Still, here we are. With everybody, I want evidence, I want evidence. You got it. Now what you gonna do?
Those parties involve children. The media is making it sound
They
like
don't
it was
just involve
adults.
children. They involve animals. The adults who are swearing up and down, I left at 1 o'clock in the morning.
You shouldn't have been there in the first place.
You
You're
shouldn't have been there.
disgusting.
And on top of that, if you knew that there were children coming in after a certain hour, why the hell didn't you say anything until right now?
Coward.
All these people, I knew he was crazy, so you guilty. I told you everybody guilty. You're guilty. Get that shit straight. I don't care who it is that's saying, I left at 1 o'clock in the morning. Because why? Because why? You covered your ass.
Denzel, you a damn liar. Lecrae, you a damn liar.
And now we gonna delete like tweets like that's gonna help anybody? No, we cannot run to another country. No, we cannot fake our own death. No, there's nothing we can do but continue to keep on kicking. And at this point, you better make sure that if you go to do something to me or my mama, we've already made that talk.
Don't miss.
Right here. Okay? Because I'm tired of being your puppet. So, We'll post what we need to post soon. We'll be back soon.
You people that are listening, that are angry right now at the things that have gone on to the children, you guys need to rise up, and you need to start demanding that all these depositions and information gathering, that needs to be made public. They need to stop hiding that behind closed doors.
Demand the media. Demand from the media. Because why are we doing another Epstein? Why are we doing another Epstein? You know damn well Diddy didn't kill himself. Let's just do that now. We know that. Okay, everybody's clear? Yeah, we know Diddy didn't kill himself.
You need to hold everybody's feet to the fire, and this stuff needs to be transparent. It needs to be seen. There needs to be nothing going on behind closed doors. It needs to be made public.
It's been enough of closed doors. It's been enough. It's been enough since I was even a thought of. It's been enough since I was 3 months old. It's been enough before me. It's been enough after me. It's been enough of the bullshit lies in the closed doors. It's been a fucking enough. Child Protective Services.
Hey, it came back, huh? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? 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 Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello?
If you have a
Hello? Hello? I can't hear you. I'll call you back if you can hear me. I will call you back if you can hear me.
if you have a car, the worst thing you
Ask him. I'm sick of covering for everybody. Kill me. I dare you. You tried all my life and I'm still sitting here. That right there proves who my God is. So you can continue, because at least I know where I'm going, and when I get there I can talk to my friends. Really can. Got a lot. I got a bone to pick with Jesus, but I gotta talk to my Like, it's fine. It's fine. And yes, my pinky's broken. For those who keep circulating this picture of this girl with a broken pinky, yeah, my pinky's broken. It was broken at 12 years old when I tried to fight back, and that didn't work. So there's a lot of parts of my body that pops and locks and shit because a lot of people started tying me up, and I'm really small. If you've ever met me, I'm really, really small. So people used to use me a lot for baby jobs. So people used to use me a lot for party favors. That party favor that I was on the table, I wore wigs too. So if you want to turn those videos around, I have a wig on for some of those. But yeah, my pinky's broken, and so is my toe pinky. There's a reason for that.
If you're a truther, you need to look up party favor effect as it relates to Diddy's freak offs.
You have a message.
Yeah.
This is decades worth of an issue. You know that, right? Decades. He's one of millions. The party's just been going for forever, and everybody just got there. Hello, and thank you for those who are like, I've been sitting with you this whole time and I believe you. Thank you. You have no idea how much y'all mean to us. There ain't no money there's no price that anybody could put on that to say unconditionally, I believed you since the beginning. Thank you. Because that shit has been my whole entire life. That's all. I don't need any money. I want to go to school. I really want to go to school. It's not even about graduating. It's about the fact that it's the principle of the thing. I can say I did it because all my life I've been illiterate and I've just been a sex slave and I can do all that. No, I could go to school. I could be a grown-ass woman, and I am a woman of my word. I'm a choreographer and I love kids even though I can't have kids. So if you have met me in this time, I thank you for spending the time that you have with me. Because now that you see all this stuff on Twitter, and now that you see all this stuff on social media, you've met the real me. You've spent time with the real me. Victim. I'm not telling you guys that I saw something and then yes, there's other victims. But I was a victim of what we're talking about. Okay? And that's not the only thing that we're talking about. The Diddy shit is not the only thing that deserves your attention. Okay? My time that some people are trying to help pull some stuff up for me for is 2007 to 2010. 2010, I was a missing child from the Riverside County Child Protective Services custody. But from 2007 to 2010, that was a rough, very rough time for me. I was born, so it says, in 1994. My birth certificate states 1994. Okay. I'm blessed to say that I'm 30 years old because I wasn't supposed to make it past 16. If you want to dig for something, go look in Snoop Dogg's stuff. Tell you that. Arm candy and party favors run a long way. So if you want to dig for some things, I'll tell you right now that it's been in your face for a very long time. But no, I'm not standing behind Will Smith at what was supposed to be the 1997 VMA Awards. No. But we're getting so wrapped up and so distracted by some stuff. So I really want to kind of once again take y'all back, because I know there's a lot of new people and some of you think that you're helping. Okay, dissociative identity disorder. I want to ask you, what do you think happens to a child after they've been brutally raped and tortured? What do you think? If they get away, do you think that therapy for 3 times a week for an hour with a random stranger is going to help them heal from all the pain that happened in the 5 minutes that is unexplainable, and the highlights of the moment that you understand? You understand, right? That these children didn't, the children that we're talking about, the torture that we're talking about, the cover-ups and the distractions that you're going towards, because what we're talking about was not a tea party. You get that, right? When people are snatching people and taking them against their will and doing things that they don't want to come to light, they're not having a tea party with them. This was not just a conversation. This was not something that was consensual, clearly. That's why they're hiding it. You get that, right? Okay. So for those people who are like, well, that doesn't exist, that can't be real, it can't be like that. Do you understand what's happening? Do you understand the PTSD that's built on what's happening? Do you understand the night terrors, the trauma, the experiences that are out of this world, what actual triggers mean? Do you understand what's going on? This wasn't just something little that happened. Okay? What I can tell you doesn't explain the things that happened in the first 5 minutes, the first 10 minutes. If you went somewhere recently, just think about what you just did in the past 24 to 48 hours. Can you explain to me exactly what happened every single minute? No, because some things just happen so fast and so slow all at the same time, right? So the things that you're hearing right now that's coming from survivors, do you understand that you're not even touching or scratching at a crumb of a situation that happened the first 5 minutes, the first 10 minutes? You don't get it. Okay? DID, dissociative identity disorder, comes from when somebody has been so brutally tortured that your mind has to go somewhere. You don't just walk away from torture the same way you don't walk away from a gang life, the same way you don't just walk away from being a drug dealer, the same way you don't walk away from a secret society. You don't just walk away from these type of things. Okay? So, dissociative identity disorder, you would just have to dig. There's a few different types, but
well, it's actually more than that. Dissociative identity disorder is kind of an organic thing where something happened traumatically that caused your brain psyche to split. MK Ultra is when they've done that on purpose and deliberately.
Okay, have you heard about this dental implant provider that
a lot of survivors get dragged about, well, they're lying, or they didn't say this, or they said this last time and now they're saying something else. It's because you don't understand how that shit works. Everybody knows what MK Ultra is. You know the term, but you don't know what it looks like on a day-to-day basis. You don't know what it's about. Allie has over 200 altars. So each altar holds different memories of different people. She's told you about Oprah and the Bidens and the Obamas, and she's told you about Diddy. But that's coming from 5 or 6 altars. She has over 200 altars that have different memories of different incidents. So be really easy before you start calling survivors liars, and before you start making up your own story in your head of how you think things went and how things go. It's nothing like that. So be careful how you come at survivors and how you try to discredit survivors, because that's not true. If you're at a party, if you're at a family gathering and you're in the kitchen, you're going to have memories of what was going on in the kitchen. And if your husband is outside in the barbecue talking to the men, he's going to have a different perception of that same party, even though you guys are both in the same place. That's kind of how DID works.
Stand at a 4-way intersection, and everybody on each intersection is going to have a different story. Okay.
Basically, like if there was a car accident on a 4-way intersection, everybody's going to hear the crash and know there was an accident, but depending on where you're standing is going to be your perception of that. So you wouldn't call somebody on the north corner a liar because they recall it a little bit different than the person on the south corner. Everybody knows there was an accident, but everybody has a different perception. So be very easy with how you treat the survivors. They are telling you the truth. Let me go ahead while I'm still talking. Somebody was like, "Gee, just give her a lie detector." I don't believe her. Give her a lie detector test. A lie detector test is a pseudoscience. It's not something that they take into the courts because it can be beat. The way it can be beat for survivors is what something might happen to one survivor that doesn't happen to another, and the other might not have any memory of it whatsoever. So anybody that has DID or MK Ultra can beat a lie detector test, hands down, because you would just switch out the altars. And if you're trying to say, well, altar A started a fire, and we're gonna prove it with a lie detector test, all you need to do is bring up alter B that had nothing to do with it, has no memory of it, and they're going to beat the lie detector test. So before you start spewing opinions and think you have everything wrapped up in a nice little package, you don't know what you're talking about. Slow your roll. Alright, I'm done.
You know what? On top of that, what I don't understand is we're getting into this political mentality. Is, oh, well, this person is voting for Trump and this person is voting for Kamala, so we can't all be on the same page. Are you telling me that we can't all be on the same page for the brutality of children? How about we vote for the children? We are living out of our car at the moment. So somebody who they're Trump supporters, does that matter? Who said we were voting for anyone? I never said I was voting for anybody. I'm voting for the children. That's what I'm voting for. I'm voting for the truth. I'm an independent for the truth at this point, because no one understands how bad this is on both sides. And the sorry part is, the pathetic and shameful part is the first people, the people that claim so loud, I'm here for the children, I would do anything for a child. You're the one that's making conditions on whether or not you give a damn about a child. I'm not gonna listen to this because it's for the red side. I'm not gonna listen to this because it's for the blue side. How about you listen to what's for the right side? The right thing to do. The children.
Be a human.
That's it.
How about we vote for humanity? How about that?
Because this is just pathetic.
I think a lot of people get lost on the fact that Allie they're labeling her a Trump supporter because she said, number one, that executive orders were passed when Trump got in office.
That don't mean anything.
For trafficking.
Oh.
All that means is that orders were put in place to help stop trafficking.
It hasn't stopped, has it?
The other thing I think was that Allie said she's never seen Trump at any place where she was trafficked. That doesn't mean anything. That means where she went, he was not there. To her memory, we could have alter number 199 come up in 3 weeks from now and say, hey, he was there, I saw him. And then we would have to change that narrative. But as of right now, with the alters that are speaking out and speaking to you, he was not seen trafficking wise. That's it, and that's all. Like, manage your perceptions and manage your expectations of what's being told to you.
But if we wanted to just simple talk it, it's about the children.
Yeah. At the end of the day,
after all of that being said, it's about the children. When you come back down to it, it's about the children. When you really want to talk about it, it's about the children. And still, that's what we get distracted from. I'm an adult now. I'm not that scared child anymore. There's still some children in me, and there's some that have died, okay? But I'm not that child anymore. I'm an adult trying to do the right thing because I was the child that nobody cared about. And still, here we are saying, okay, this is not important. That's not important. What's important and what should be it and all and no more discussion is the children. If you're the type of person who has conditions on whether or not you give a damn about a child, you are not a human being. That's it and that's all. It's not even judgmental at this point. It's just heartless. I don't care what you think of me. You do not have to like me. The line of how many people hate me, it's getting long. It's getting longer every single day. I don't care. But my point is, and my entire point has been, the children. If you don't understand that, you're in the wrong fight. That's it. It shouldn't matter what line of the sand you stand on. It's whether or not you can be a human being. You know those experiments on TikTok where people are seeing people grab a child and run down an alleyway and everybody just keeps walking? Versus those one or two people that start running and going after that person, that's what I'm talking about. Again, we have numbers on platforms, and everybody is so excited about numbers and trends and what can I get out of it and what's my gain. What does it matter? What does it matter when there's not that same amount of people in the streets are yelling for the children? What does it matter? Last thing we want to talk about real quick. We got a message from a friend. Her name, I'm going to say E, because you're still on here, and I know you're probably going to see this. But in 2020, when I first went viral, we got a message from a girl, and she's like, hey, I know you. Me and you used to work in a strip club together in Los Angeles. I know exactly who you are. Can I talk to you? And at first I'm like, no, she's lying. I don't want to talk to anybody. And no, she does not know me. She sent a picture and she's like, you remember me? And I remember you. And I was like, nope. And then I saw the picture and I'm like, okay, yeah, I do. But does she know what she's talking about? Because there was something that I used to do in this club that she's referring to. And if she could tell me what it is, then that's her. Okay? My mom asked her, she responded and said, give me the phone, let me talk to her. Okay? We talked, and it was the realest conversation we've ever had. She straight out, we didn't beat around the bush. I asked her, I said, hey, you mad at me? That's what you want to talk about? And she said, yeah, actually I am. Because I was 19 years old when I worked in this club. And at the time, I didn't understand why my pimp was kicking me out of the club and telling me that I wasn't pretty enough for the jobs that I had with regulars. And you and other girls were coming into this club and taking my regulars and taking my money. So yeah, I was pissed. But now that I see what's going on, I understand. Because we were catering to authority in these clubs. So I'm like, okay, Los Angeles firefighters, police department, paramedics, and so much more, attorneys. The private rooms didn't even need to be a private room after midnight, because we came into these clubs and they kicked out anybody that was over the age of 18, shut the club down, and catered to authority. Okay, at the time I was 14, 15. So we talked, and talked about how her life has changed, and she has kids now, and she's doing the best that she can by her kids. But she was like, I'm not trying to put my story out there. I'm not trying to go for any type of fame or any type of anything. I just want to let you know how I felt. Okay, cool, thank you. Now, there's a situation with some Johns. Now, you remember I told you pimps, Johns, traffickers, 3 different things, right? Let me help you. Ghislaine Maxwell, trafficker. Jeffrey Epstein, John. Jeffrey Epstein later turned into a pimp who had his own supply, just like Diddy, who was a pimp, or Snoop Dogg, who was a pimp, or so on and so forth. We don't have to get into the elite because we got to go down the middle line. But there's a difference between traffickers, pimps, and Johns. Okay? So, thank you for sharing my videos, honestly. And those who are not sharing them to collect any type of money or gain or fortune from sharing them. So thank you for that. But for those who are honestly sharing my videos, there are some people, in 90s, I'm going to need your help, because there's some people that are popping up, and a John popped up, and I'm going to tell you it's a John, but he's not. He's saying that we're friends, and he's not telling everybody where he met me. He's telling everybody we're friends. Okay? And that's exactly what men that come to clubs, strip clubs, legal brothels in Nevada, that's exactly what they tell their wives, their girlfriends, and people that they don't want them to know what happened. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes when I was on an order or on a job, when I got into a room with the John after my trafficker supplier brought me to my pimp pimped me out to my John after I got into the order with my John, sometimes I would say, yes, I'm 18. But some orders and some jobs, I was so high and I just lost my shit at one point. I would just start spilling. And I would just start telling them a clear truth. I am 15 years old. I'm actually a foster kid. If you can help me, that would be great. And people would think, nope. And some of them would straight up tell me, my daughter is too. But for the night, you're not. And I don't care. Okay? Some people were moved by money. Some people were moved by deals. Some people would think that it was my choice or it's the way it goes. And some people would see my pimp and get scared. Okay? So there are some jobs that, yes, I said I was 18. I lied. I did. Because if I didn't, it was my ass that was going to be kicked. I had a quota to make for the night. And if I did not make that quota, I was going to be hurt worse than what that John was going to do. Okay, so there's some jobs that I walked into that I said, yeah, I'm 18 years old. And I kind of looked like it too, depending on what was going on. Now, how it works in some of these strip clubs is and I'm laughing because I'm already getting shaky and sweaty because I just need to spit this out. But nothing's funny. In some of these clubs, there's men and women. The women that would come in with their husbands or with their whoever, their partner, they would be there because their partner told them that that's what's going to make them happy. They would be there because they were told that it was sexy to them and that's the way that they're going to spice up their marriage. Okay, so sometimes those women didn't want to be there, but they would be there and then they would be taking their anger out on me. So I'd be fighting females because they were sitting there anyways with their husbands, but they had to come in anyways because that was the only way that was going to save their relationship, even though the relationship was already shit. Okay, and then there's men that would come into the clubs that would always be crying right after work, and my wife just doesn't do it for me anymore. I have these kids and I'm taking care of all this, and she doesn't love me and she doesn't want to spend time with me, and I get home and she's sleeping and she's yelling at me. What did you do? Is usually what the girls talk about backstage. All your bitching and crying that those men do and those women do sometimes to the strippers, they treat the sex slaves like they're their therapist. They bitch and they take their entire lives to that strip club, including their money, their home, their marriage, and their minds. They take it all to the strip club and throw it right at the person that's hurting the most and expect an answer. And then get mad when they don't get the answer that they want. Okay, so there's a lot of Johns that I had to deal with that would come in and tell me their lives. How hard it was. And I'm pretty sure they would do the same thing to me if they had the chance. But how hard it was to be there in their lives. Okay, now we have a John popping up. And they're saying that, I thought you were crazy. You know, you were on drugs. Are you going to tell people where you know me? Are you going to tell people where you know me from? Because even if you want to pull the bullshit of, I thought you were 18, you brought a human being. That's the problem. That's the entire problem. Is people are buying another human being and think that it's okay. Because that's what the music says to do. Think that it's okay because that's what's hot to do. No. Little do you know who you're buying and what you're doing. You're messing up everybody's life. Okay, so before all these Johns start popping up and think that that's what's going to shake me, no, I'm past that. I'm really past that. I know the truth. I am way past that. Mateo. Or should I say Jack? Because you thought that I was high enough to not know your first name. Mateo. Simi Valley, California.
Mateo have identifying markers?
Yes. Mateo has a snake tattooed on his right arm. All the way up his arm. And the snake head goes onto the inside of his arm. You think I don't remember you? I remember you so clearly to the point I've been drowning in my PTSD. I remember you. I remember the time that in Simi Valley, California, there's these line of track houses and they're stage homes. They're stage homes and they're set up for porn videos.
The whole street.
The whole street.
So
The whole damn thing.
Think of your street. All the houses on your street were different stages that they filmed child porn.
Okay, so I tried to run. I did. My dumb ass ran right out of one house after my pimp told me what was going on and that I had to suck on a pacifier and that I was going to be a baby and that he dressed me up in a blue and white onesie. It was a sea blue and white and green onesie with sea blue and green lingerie. I remember that. I remember that. To the point that it was really hard for a little bit to cope, and it was a few days ago it was really hard to get off the floor. But no, I remember going into the house and being told that I was going to be hunted down in the house. The drugs were in the pacifier. I was supposed to finish the pacifier, but I didn't, because when I finally realized the job that I was on, I was officially freaked out. I put up with a lot of crazy shit. And I was like, you know what, fine. I don't want to get my ass beat, or I'll fight today, or we're going to fight anyway. So I was going to fight over some stuff. But there was a point in time where I just said, you know what, screw it. Because when I got to those houses and I realized what was going on, and the first time that I ran into another set house, it's like, okay, I got it. But my pimp told me that I was going to go into this house, and there were these sex dolls in these cribs. They're big sex dolls, children size, heavy life-size sex dolls. Look them up. They exist. They are heavy. They cry. They make noise. All of it like a child. Okay? And it was a house full of these cribs. And I was supposed to go into one and just get in one. And he was supposed to come looking for me and then do whatever he wanted to do with me. Okay? When that finally clicked in and I realized the job that I was on, I was scared. Okay? After I ran out of the house and got in trouble, I went back in the house and I hid in the kitchen cabinet. And Mateo, Jack, dragged me from the kitchen cabinet to the stairs, by my hair up the stairs, and into my order.
What you guys need to understand about MK Ultra was I will put money down that Mateo had codes to Allie's programming, and he was able to call up the baby alters. And the little kid alters, 3, 4, 5 years old. And he was able to call them up, and that's who he was raping.
At one point, I stopped crying. And it took me forever to, in my brain, get it together that if you stop fighting someone, that's not rape. Okay? And that's because of everything that I was taught. So, at the last few days, my dumb self started cycling back through that. Like, yeah, I stopped fighting you. I did. And at one point, I started laughing. Because I was like, okay, if I fight you anymore, I'm not getting out of this. When you understand what type of evil we're talking about, when you understand how deep this goes and what somebody's child is going through right now, there's no time for the bullshit. There's no back and forth. There's no political. There's no religious.
Race, none of it.
None of it. None of it matters. Because we're talking about children. That's it and that's all. So, no, I remember. I remember very clearly, too clearly. Right now, everything is messing with me, but I'm okay.
I don't think most of y'all appreciate the survivors that are speaking, because that comes at great cost to them. Yes, they get threats. Yes, they get people calling them liars and crazy. That's nothing. Anybody that's a true survivor that's speaking out and trying to tell you something, they are going to be having flashbacks. They're going to be picking themselves up off the floor. They're going to be having night terrors. Like, every truth that you guys hear comes at a great cost for every survivor. So when you guys are like, hey, well, give me another name, you haven't done anything with the first name. You don't understand the price that's being paid to even give you a single name. Be careful with the survivors. It's critical how you respond to a survivor.
I'm okay, but I'm not okay. But I'm okay. Because I'm still here. Even though shit sucks, I am still right here. If you only knew. If you really only knew. It's a lot. It's a lot. Track houses. It's probably still there. There's one that people have fetishes to have sex with dead people. So they make you put ice in your vagina and stay still and put on ACs and make your body cold to satisfy whoever can buy it. Ask me how I know. Do you not hear it? You know, the things people are like, give me evidence. What do you think you're asking for? Do you think we had a tea party? Do you think after Mateo dragged me upstairs we were cool? Just sat down and started talking? Do you think that's what happened? What do you think happened? What more do people need?
A lot of people repeat scripts. Where's the evidence? I need evidence. A lot of you guys don't even understand what you're asking for. What is evidence to you?
You're asking for the same thing that they're buying and selling off the black market right now and covering the cases that they have up with. That's what you're asking for.
Evidence looks a lot of different ways, but I don't think the people that are screaming about the evidence understand what they're even asking for. They're just repeating some mindless script that's in their head that they think they need evidence to prove something. There's a lot of different ways to prove things without, there's a lot of different kind of evidence. It's not just a picture, it's not just a video. There's a lot of different types of evidence.
So DID, again, DID, every broken part, every altar comes from every single trauma. Ask me again, how many we have? Nobody is just walking away from trafficking. After being on a job that you're supposed to be a baby, after being on a job that you're supposed to carry a suitcase full of military-grade weapons through a casino and almost be the reason why you go to prison for the rest of your life because it's a pimp. Over a pimp. It's called clean hands. Ask me how I know. After so many times of being tied up and told your name and you are somebody else, what do you think happens? What do you think happens? Please wake up. Please wake up and please educate somebody that is so damn ignorant to this fight that you have no idea what you're saying. No matter what happened, where were you? No matter who you are, no matter where I met you, no matter what, where were you? Through the trauma and the pain, what did you do? What was your actions as an adult in the situation? What was your place in it at all? I ran on my own at 16. I was missing for a year from Riverside County Child Protective Services custody because I had to make a choice to not let somebody kill me. Few people. Where were the adults? Does anybody ever ask that question? Survivors get out and they get a chance to tell you what happened, and then it's their fault that they got out. Where was the adults? Is anybody going to talk to them? Is anybody going to ask, where the hell were you? And did you stop? Did you stop making it a point to help? Did you stop making it a point to do something for this child's life? Were you that selfish? And were you that proud of your silence? What did you do? You gotta go. You got anything else?
OG 90s. If you see people coming with the stupid shit, the BS, check them. I don't. You probably aren't going to change their mind, but at least throw some facts at them, so they don't muddy the waters for other people. The polygraph thing. Allie's a liar. She can't remember. She said this and then she said that. Don't let people do that to survivors. And I'm not just talking about Allie. I'm talking about every survivor. I know the price they're paying to tell you the truth. They need your support, so stand with them. There's a reason why there might be discrepancies sometimes, and it's because of MK Ultra. I promise you that. I would not let this kid come online and talk to you if she was not telling you the truth. Most human beings can see that. You can see it in her eyes. You can see it in the way she presents herself. You can see the truth. It really raises red flags for me for those of you that can't.